We all like to think we're smart cookies. We sort our recycling, we leave good Yelp reviews, but here's the thing, folks. Our wallets do the real talking. Every time we buy something, we're not just getting a new pair of shoes or a fancy coffee. We're casting a vote. A vote for the company, sure, but also a vote for their values. And right now, some powerful people are pushing some seriously dodgy values. Values that scream might makes right and finders keepers, losers weepers on the world stage. That's why we need to talk about boycotting American products. It's about sending a message those in power can't ignore. Think about it. Remember those sweatshop scandals a few years back? Public outcry forced companies to change. Why? Because nobody wants their new jeans stitched with the tears of exploited workers. It's the same principle here, but on a global scale. We're talking about pushing back against imperialism, plain and simple. You might be thinking, imperialism, isn't that a bit old-fashioned? Sadly, no, it's alive and kicking, just wearing a different suit these days. We're not just talking about soldiers and flags on maps anymore. It's about economic control, political strong-arming, and twisting other countries' arms until they do what America wants. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about some distant land being pushed around. What happens over there affects us all. It makes the world a less stable, more dangerous place. And in the age of nukes, that's a gamble we can't afford to take. Let's get one thing straight. Imperialism isn't some new fad. It's been around for ages, like that weird smell in your nan's attic. Empires from Rome to the British Empire have all tried their hand at it. And let's not pretend America's been an innocent bystander. Remember the whole Manifest Destiny thing? Yeah, not exactly a shining moment in respecting other nations' sovereignty, but here's the thing about the 21st century. Blatant land grabs are so last century. These days, it's all about sneaky backroom deals and economic arm twisting. Think of it like this. You don't need to conquer a country when you can control its economy. Saddle them with enough debt, dictate their trade policies, and suddenly they're dancing to your tune, even if they hate the music. And guess who's leading the charge in this new age of imperialism? You guessed it, the good old US of A. And before anyone starts shouting America first, let's be real, this isn't about making America great again. This is about one thing: power. Raw, unchecked power. The kind of power that makes leaders do reckless things like picking fights with countries halfway across the world or threatening to nuke anyone who looks at them funny. And that's where things get really scary. Now, I know what you're thinking, John. You're being a bit dramatic, aren't you? Would that I were, my friend, would that I were. But unfortunately, when it comes to Trump, the man seems to have a real knack for turning every molehill into a Mount Everest of international incidents. Remember when he wanted to buy Greenland? Or how about that time he practically drooled over the idea of controlling the Panama Canal? And don't even get me started on his plans for Gaza. The man seems to think he's playing Risk in his bathrobe, moving armies and redrawing borders without a care in the world. But this isn't a board game, folks. This is real life, with real consequences. Every time Trump throws his weight around on the world stage, he chips away at the already fragile peace we've managed to cobble together. He normalizes aggression, making it more likely that other countries will follow suit. And all it takes is one wrong move, one miscalculation, and suddenly we're not talking about trade wars anymore. We're talking about something far, far worse. So what can we do? How do we fight back against this tide of reckless imperialism? Well, folks, that's where the power of the pocketbook comes in. See, every dollar we spend is a vote for the kind of world we want to live in. And right now, I reckon it's time we sent a clear message that we're not okay with this whole America first. Everyone else can go jump in a lake attitude. That's why I'm asking you to join me in boycotting American products. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, won't that hurt the American people? And yes, there might be some economic impact. But honestly, folks, sometimes you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelette, and believe me, the potential consequences of doing nothing are far, far worse. This isn't about punishing anyone, it's about sending a message. It's about showing the powers that be that we won't stand idly by while they drag us all towards the brink. Talk to your friends, share this message, spread the word, because when enough people raise their voices, even the most powerful have no choice but to listen. Let's choose peace. Let's choose cooperation. Let's choose a better future together.